Hello, shrimp peoples. So today I'm going to do some culling in this tank. Culling in the fish world means a little bit different than it does in the shrimp world normally. In the fish world, if you're culling, sometimes you have a bigger tank that's got predatory fish in it, and so you would select the ones that you really don't want out of your fish tank, and you would feed them to the bigger tank. Sometimes it means actually just flushing them if they've got something wrong with them, some kind of genetic defect, a color you don't want, something like that. In the shrimp world, basically it just means moving them to another tank. Once you start getting multiple tanks, you put one tank aside that you're going to use for the shrimp that you just really don't want. Sometimes you sell them, sometimes you give them away to friends. These ones are going to a different tank and then eventually going to my little sister's into another tank. So I do have some red ones in here. Those ones are going to come out. What I'm going for mostly is, let's see, this one right here, this little one down in the front. Love the color on that shrimp. Love the great big, of course now it's sideways, you can't see. Okay, so on this stick, this one right here. So love the color on that one. I wish it had a few more stripes at the end of its tail. I wish it had a few more smaller patches on the cheeks instead of just one big solid color. But the color is really, really nice. So that one's going to stay. What we're going to do is, we don't want the red ones. So originally I started out with these big pintos right here. These Galaxy Pintos. This is one of the big males I still have left in the tank. The other one's swimming around. They were in a tank with some shadow pandas and some really nice deep blue bolts. Like this blue bolt right here. It's not an extreme, it still has some white on its tail, but it's a good deep blue color. The first couple babies out of that, let me get my little stick instead so I don't scare them so badly. The first babies out of that were like this female right here. So she's got some nice stripes on her tail, and then she's gone. She's got some nice stripes on her tail at any rate. She doesn't have the cheek spots. She has a nice blue color, so she's gonna stay. I've taken out a bunch of males out of here already that weren't desirable. Now, since I started with these Galaxy Pintos, they do have red in their background. So we're gonna get these little red guys out of here. It's at the top of the net now and you can't see it. So they're just going to go into a cup. There's another one. We're going to put them in a little container. Some of these are just still a little small, but that's okay. They're going to go into a little container, and then I'm going to drip acclimate them into another tank that I've already pulled some culls out of. I want them all in the same water when I go to ship them to my sister. That way, whoa, little babies. That way I'm not give them, a week or two to get used to the water I'm going to put them in, so I can ship them all together and she doesn't have to worry about them being shocked from being in different waters. So this one here has way too much white on its back. It doesn't really have some stripes going on. It doesn't have a good blue color. So that one's gonna go. Here's another little red one. I was waiting for these to get a little bit more size on them before I shipped them. You don't want to ship them too small, but the smaller ones do acclimate better. Where'd it go? There we are under your little cup. I am going to send her some of these Azura blue bolts. I am keeping a couple of the solid blue ones in here. I may keep a couple of the blues with the blue bolts with little black on their head, but I don't want too much black. So this one here has got too much black on its face. That one can go. Plus I told her I'd send her some blue bolts. Now I know these are probably, they could be blue bolts or blue steels, since I crossed them with the Pintos, but there were extreme blue bolts in there to start with. So they could be either or. We want this one. Feeding them is a great time to get everybody to come right down into the front of the tank. And then you can pick and choose. So let's get some of these plants out of the way. I did drop this originally, this little piece of food here, into the dish, but shrimp are greedy pigs and somebody tried to run off with it and got it just up over the edge and dropped it on the outside. So let's see, what else do we got. This one has more of a Pinto pattern and no face spots. And it's more black and white than shadow blue. Oh, I got one of the little blue velvets in there. You go out. Yeah, I do have blue velvets in here. They're Neos, but they adapt better to Caridina water than Caridinas adapt to Neo water. And this way I can double up on colors and not have to worry about them interbreeding. But some of these are still quite a bit too small to ship. So they'll stay here and grow out a little bit more. What else do we go? There's one. This one really doesn't have cheek spots. It doesn't have a good blue color. Now they could color up more as they get older, and they could get more white spots as they get older. Oh, and I see a red one in there. I'm gonna get that other little red one out. Where did it go? I looked away for a second while I was putting that other little shrimp in the dish. Definitely want to get the red ones out. There's only a couple few that pop up every here and there, but I don't want to breed any more red into these because I want blue and black shrimp. I don't want red and white shrimp. Here we go. A little Pinto guy. A little red one, see? Now, if you're not trying to breed for a certain color or pattern, it really doesn't matter what you keep in your tank and what you don't. You don't have to cull anything. You can do whatever you like with it. These are going into a mixed Caridina tank at at my sister's house, so it really doesn't matter what I send her. She is going to be thrilled. Let's see, this one doesn't have any face spots, and it does have a lot of white on it, so it's going to go. And let me see, what's the little friend in there? It doesn't have face spots either, and it's got more of a Pinto pattern than, it got kind of a tiger pattern. It can stay. And this one, if it'll come out from behind the feeding dish. Oh, there's another red one. It's still kind of small though. I kind of hesitate to send him that tiny. So maybe we'll let that one grow out a bit still. There's going to be a bunch in here coming out here real soon. They've got more of a zebra pattern on the back. The stripes don't go down to the bottom of the tail. And they don't have, I want them to also have the white face mask. And I want them to have the white face spots. So let's see. Get my net out of here. It's all caught up in, there's tons of water lettuce, dwarf water lettuce, and hanging in this tank, and it's everywhere. But the shrimp like it. I like looking at the little roots that come down. Okay, so let's see. I think for now, that's all we're going to take out. Yes, I see the one right in the front there that just has the back line and really doesn't have any zebra, any tiger stripes down the sides. It doesn't really have a face mask. It doesn't have any face spots. I really like that one though. I have some in my red tiger Pinto tank, and I think I'm going to start a tank with just those. I really like just the single back line. Although I think it looks pretty cool. Especially, let's see if I can put my net down here. Let's get a top-down picture. that darker stripe down the center. Makes me happy. Okay, so here's what we got. Our little cup full of baby shrimps. And I'm going to drip acclimate that into another tank that I already have some culls. Yeah, I just got to get that red one out. That's making me crazy to see it in there. Okay. You have to go. Come on. Up in the net. There we go. Because I don't want red ones in there. Okay, so these are going to drip acclimate and go into another tank. And we'll give them about a week or two to get used to the water. I don't want to change water and then ship them and change water. And actually, I just did a water change in here a week and a half ago. Put them into a new tank, get used to the water. Ship them, put them in a new tank, get used to the water. So I want to do maybe like a week in between, at least a week or two in between. Oh, there's another one I see. This one back here, this little blue bolt with the, oh, it's kind of a half-sider kind of looking. Maybe not. It's got, maybe we'll let that one grow. It's got kind of solid black on one side and a pattern on the other. That is kind of neat. Maybe we'll just hang on to that one. If it wasn't so little, I'd get a picture of it, but it is kind of teeny tiny, so we'll leave it in there. That one right there that just swam down. Let's see if I can get a better look at that one. So it's got just a little, yeah, I just fed the stuff there. That's why it's great for the babies. They're breaking it up. See, it's black on, more black on one side than the other. I don't know. At any rate, this one right here. That's what I'm breeding for. That big female right there. A few face spots, some nice tiger stripes, a nice face mask, some big patches on the cheeks, nice blue color. I want them all to look like that. So that's why we're culling. Anyways, back to that little one. Yeah, that's kind of neat. It can stay in there. Maybe it'll go in another tank at another time, but for now we'll let that one grow out. Sorry, Gina, you don't get the cool one. I'm sending you enough cool ones already. So that's why we cull. We want to have a specific pattern, a specific color, shell thickness, white on the legs, dark black on the legs, dark red on the legs, spider legs. We're looking for some desirable trait, and we're taking everything out that doesn't have that desirable trait. And they'll just go into another tank. Thanks for watching. Okay, so all those little shrimplets that we just took out of the other tank. Here we go. Come on, little guys. There we are. So they'll hang out in here for a week or so, and then I'll ship them off to my sister.